Oh, well, would you look at that? Hey, hon! What? Did you hear the news? Kicking It with Kaz is back. What? You want me to shit in my hands and clap? No. Sorry, wait. No! Kicking It with Kaz is back. The Tiger King's loose in Iraq. What the? Live on HBO this October. Welcome back to the show. This is Kicking It with Kaz. I'm Kaz. We haven't been here in a while, but as you just heard, Kicking It with Kaz is back. The Tiger King, unfortunately, is not loose in Iraq. I think he's loose in a prison somewhere, doing whatever needs to be done. But that would be a fun show, wouldn't it? Honestly, now that I'm thinking about it. Just him on the back of a bangled tiger, just shuttling through the desert with the Dune music behind him. I could see it. It's just you just see it's just a slow-mo shot of him and his low pony against the world. Or was it a rat tail? Either way, it's hilarious. What's been going on? There's new movies coming. I'm super excited for Beetlejuice to come out. The cast is Winona Ryder, Jenna Ortega. What do you know about Jenna Ortega? I love her acting. She's fantastic. I love her demeanor. I love who she is as a person. I love her face. I think I love her. No, I do. I mean, she is, whatever she's in, I don't give a fuck what it's about. I just want to see her. I just want to see, because she's great at acting. Just so happens that she's also got great bone structure. God forbid somebody who's great at acting has great bone structure. Okay? And I can't acknowledge that. Can't acknowledge shit anymore. Beetlejuice. What else just came out? Twisters. I also noticed a lot of people were going to see Twisters in 4D. I didn't know people went to 4D movies. I thought that was just like a thing that came and went, like it was like a fad that sort of just came and went one day, but people are still going to see it. In all honesty, though, I think the only reason people are going to see Twisters in 4D is that they're hoping Glenn Powell's going to spit in their mouth. I'm just being honest. I feel like some movies in 4D too, I feel like it's like too much. Like if you went to see like, what would be like Aquaman in 4D? Like I never want to walk into a movie and then walk out soaking wet. Well, I mean, Jason Momoa is in that movie, so I'm sure a lot of people do anyways. But that's even if it's not in 4D. But that's Jason Momoa being Aquaman did not help the point, did it? No, it didn't help the point. I think it made it worse. That's we're gonna move past that. Anyways, I'm not big into the 4D. I feel like the first guy who did 4D or like brought it up, I feel like he probably started low, the first ever 4D experience. The guy who invented 4D, he probably didn't start out, I can't imagine he started out with a big budget. The way that 4D started, it's a motivating story because he didn't start with the big budget and the big expensive chairs that shake and move and water's coming down from the seats and your popcorn shaking around and the chair vibrates and there's wind machines. No. He started from the ground up. He started from the bottom. It was just him and one of those squirt bottles that you would use on a cat with water in it, right? You're sitting down. Maybe you brought maybe it was just two people who saw the first movie and he was like, babe, right? It was just a guy and his girl. He was like, babe, let's go see this new movie in 4D. It's a new thing. She's like, 4D? What is that? And he's like, I don't know. Let's see. Right? And the guy who started 4D, like I said, he didn't have all the fancy gizmos and gadgets that they got nowadays. No, just him and that spray bottle of water, right? Maybe if you're watching the movie, if there's wind in the back, this guy would just come from behind. He would go, he would just blow on the back of your neck. What the fuck? The hell? No. Shh. Watch the movie. I'm not even here. No, shh. I'm not even here. Shh. What the fuck was? Shh. A bug hits the windshield. He spits on it. I actually just spit. Why did I do that? Hold on, sorry. Dude, I meant a fake spit. Why did I actually just spit? Sorry, 1 second. I could picture it though. You're just sitting there. There's a tornado coming in. He's in the back with a hairdryer. Leaves fly across the screen. He's got a leaf bar. I'm not even here. You enjoying the movie? It sounds like an airport bathroom. No, I'm not even here. I'm not even here. Are you enjoying it? Yeah, good movie, right? You're watching a horror movie. There's like something like from underneath. He's like tickling your calf. And he started from the bottom. He started from the bottom and he worked his way to the top. Now he's got all this special equipment things, but that should be motivational. You don't start with the best things. You start from the bottom. You start by, borderline sexually harassing people in a movie theater just so that they could see it in 4D. Okay? You're touching people who didn't consent to be touched, and you're doing it anyways because that's the grind. Don't do that, actually. That was probably a bad speech especially in this day. Don't do that. Don't touch people if they don't want to be touched. But the 4D guy did it, and look at where he is today. Maybe they signed forms. I don't know. I would like to go to that. I don't know. I think it would have been fun. Water comes rushing on the screen. He just comes, he comes with the janitor's mop bucket. You're watching the movie, and you're like holding your girlfriend's hand. You're like, this is pretty good. And you just hear in the background, what the fuck? No, I'm not even here. I'm not even here. I'm not even here. You put your hand on their lips. Maybe a boulder falls on the main character in the movie. This guy's just sitting on your lap. He's like, ready? He's like, he gets up, he like cradles you. He's like, he just sits on your lap, just hugging you. You're like, I'm not even here. I'm not. Shh. This is my favorite part. Shh. Why are you hard? Anyways. Sorry. This is 4D. How did they come up with that? I mean, this guy, he had to have so many props on hand. You gotta give him credit for that. He'd have so many props on hand. He had to be ready for anything. Fires start in the film. He'd start a fire in the theater. Absolutely. You know why so many old theaters burned down? 4D. That's why. Yeah. You never even thought of it. You're like, why are these 4D? It's because of 4D. Because when you commit to something, you see it all the way through. If the screen in front of you is burning to the ground, then guess what? So would this whole fucking theater. That's why he would walk in and he would fucking light the place on fire. And that's why obviously he had to change what he did and he had to innovate and he had to sidestep and he had to segue and he had to figure it out. And that's what you need to do in life sometimes. Sometimes you're spitting on people, sitting on random boyfriends, touching their feet, blowing on the back of their neck and throwing wet janitor mop buckets all over them. And then the next day, you got a big theater with wonderful seats that recline, that shake, that do all these different things, that fly away to watch the movie in 4D. Yeah. And that's beautiful. It's a different time we're living in. You can't say anything you want. Can't do anything you want. You can't walk into a 4D movie and get your Coke, get your drink thrown in your face, pissed on, and then let a grown man sit in your lap. God forbid you experience the movie for what it is. I mean, it's like kids these days, they're all like, oh, I don't want somebody blowing on my neck hairs. Well, that's how it was back then. I don't want to go to the movie and have some grown man throw a janitor's bucket in my face. Well, then I guess you're not going to see 4D. Although I will say, I think most people going to see Glenn Powell in 4D are hoping that he walks into the theater and sits in all of their laps. Honestly. Pretty privilege. I wouldn't mind if he sat in my lap. Don't tell him. I hope he never sees this. He seems like a fun guy to be around, but he probably wouldn't want to hang out with me if I was getting on a podcast every week and being like, I hope Glenn Powell sits in my lap and cradles my head and tells me that everything's going to be okay. I'm sure he probably wouldn't. I'm sure he'd be like, this guy's fucking weird. Sorry. I don't get out much. I deleted Hinge, and sometimes you just want Glenn Powell to cradle you and tell you that everything's going to be okay. And you know what? Your hairline's not receding. Okay? And it's all in your head. That's another thing. Guys, my hairline, nobody bring it up. God, don't bring it up. Nobody bring it up. My hairline, listen, is it starting to recede? Yes. But it's not at, like, right now it's at a point where, like, somebody would be like, okay, that might just be a mature hairline, right? But I know that it's not. But that's just, okay? If anybody asks you and they're like, is Anthony Calves balding? You'll be like, no, it's just a mature hairline, all right? And that's it. And you leave it at that, and that's what you fucking say to them. You go, no, it's just a mature hairline. Don't say anything. That's it. And that's the truth. Now, in 3 to 5 years, that might be a different story. Right now, I'm at the point where it looks like it could be a mature hairline. Like I said, I know that it isn't, and we know that it isn't, but don't tell anybody, okay? We have a fund set up. I'm already putting money into it. I'm going to get the 3 to 5 years, I'll get the hair transplant. And you know what? When I come back, and somebody's going to be in the comments and they're going to be like, did he get a hair transplant? Did his hairline just move forward? No, you're seeing things. It's always been perfectly straight and wonderful and fantastic. And I just decided to get a buzz cut. Okay? That's what happened. If anybody ever in the future, if you see that maybe, if you notice that, wow, his hairline looks different. No, it doesn't. It's always been the same. If anybody fucking brings it up, I will gaslight you and lie to your face until you believe every single word that's coming out of my mouth, just like the great politicians of our time. That's what I'm going to lie to your fucking face, okay? I'm going to lie to you. Did you get a hair transplant? No. I think you're actually just going insane and you should probably get on some medication. You fucking loony. Yeah. I think they need to throw you in the loony bin, you fucking psycho fuck. I don't know. I'm looking at this old episode, and I'm looking at this new episode, and it looks like you got a hair transplant. Do you want me to climb over this fucking desk? Huh? Tell me. Do you want me to climb over this fucking desk? Don't say shit. Don't spread rumors and lies and false information about things that you don't even understand. Well, I think you got a hair transplant. I think you're going blind. I think you got a hair transplant. I think you need a new fucking prescription, Four Eyes. I think you need to watch yourself. So don't say anything negative about me, okay? I look great. I look fantastic. And I'm so wonderful and amazing, and everything about me is awesome. You know what's funny about the show is I have such an extreme level of, like, fake confidence. This is not the confidence I have in real life. I have a very the confidence of me on the show does not equate to real life. Like if somebody's listening to this and they're like, wow, what a narcissistic fuck. No. This is like my alter ego that doesn't exist and I just get to have fun with every week for like an hour. That's it. That's really it. My confidence in real life compared to my confidence of on the show is like two sides of a coin. Actually, it's not. They're not even part of the same coin. They're like two completely different coins on different continents that have never even met each other and they didn't even know that they exist. It's like totally like it's not even two sides of the same coin. It's like there's two coins and they're not even friends. As a matter of fact, they're not even friends. They're not enemies. They don't even know each other. They don't even know that each other exist. That's what my confidence is on the show. Okay? So if you think that you want to get on and you like for example, if you wanted to leave like a rate and review, love it. Absolutely. Only if it's 5 stars though. God forbid, gun to your fucking head. If you must, leave 4 stars and constructive criticism only with positive words. If you want to leave 4 stars, I better see positive words of affirmations and, good health and wonderful things. That's the only thing that you're allowed to say. If you leave 4 stars, fine. I guess I can't stop you. But if you leave 3 or less, I will be at your fucking door, banging on your fucking door, and I will find where you fucking live. Which, by the way, is not a threat. It's more of just like a warning. Like I'm not saying I'm going to find where you live and like threaten you to change it. I'm just going to like find where you live and you're going to find me like on your front doorstep, bare ass naked in the fetal position, crying, begging you to change it. You don't think I'm funny? Okay, if you don't want to hear that, all right? If you don't want to deal with me at your door, bare ass naked at 3 o'clock in the morning going, why do you hate me? Why do you hate me? Then don't leave 3 stars or less. Don't do it. If you don't want to deal with me following you to work, okay, hiding in your trunk, sobbing hopeless tears and saying, why don't you think I'm funny? Then don't leave 3 stars or less, okay? All right, just leave 4 or above. Is it really that hard? Preferably 5, 4 if there's a gun to your head and you must. It's really as simple as that. If you want to leave 3 or less stars, guess what? Keep that shit to your fucking self, okay? Nobody needs to know. Nobody needs to know. 4, 3 or less, don't bring it up. And like I said, and that's a promise, okay? It's not a threat. It's a promise. I will find where you live, and I will be bare-ass naked on your front lawn, and you're like, well, I'll just call the police. Guess what? I am the police. I won't bring a gun, but I'll bring tears, okay? So if you don't want to deal with me crying, rolling around on your front lawn, okay, I'll throw a tantrum. I'll start slamming my fists. I'll be like, why don't you change it? I want you to change it. That's what I'll do. If you don't want to deal with that, then guess what? And honestly, 4 stars, listen, if I'm having a bad day and you leave 4 stars, that might happen as well. Okay? But if you leave 4 stars, though, I won't show up to your house and like scream at your face and like say a bunch of things. That I won't do. But 4 stars, it's kind of like that middle ground where like, okay, you like the show, but like I'm going to be at your door and I'm going to be like, hey. And you're going to be like, hello? And I'm going to be like, what didn't you like? What was it? Was I too loud? And you'll be like, no, it was just, it was good. It wasn't great. And I'll be like, okay. Right. But why? The other stars right next to the, all you had to do is just swipe your finger just a little bit more. But you didn't. Why was that? Why was that? Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Okay, if you don't want me showing up at your work, okay, if you don't want me with my handprint and my unblinking eyes staring at you while you work from home, okay, through your bedroom window going, why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Why'd you do that? Then leave 5 stars. If you leave 5 stars, I will never show up to your house, okay? And I know some of you might be thinking, I kind of want Anthony to come to my house. Well, okay. Well, then if you want that, leave 5 and send me a DM and we can make something happen. But don't try and get my attention by lowering the stars, okay? Don't do it. So if you don't want to deal with that headache, you don't want to deal with a naked, deranged man I'm probably going to be drunk. Just throwing that out there. So if you're like, maybe he'll talk to me in a civil manner. Nope. I'm going to be slurring my words, dragging my ass on your front lawn like somebody's untrained golden doodle. Okay? I'm going to be dragging my ass on my front lawn, and I'm going to be pissing on your hardwood floors until you change it to 5, or at the very least 4, and maybe you give me like a cookie and like some positive words of affirmation and an Xbox. Or PS5. I changed my mind. PS5, cookie, positive words of affirmation, and a girlfriend. I know the 4th one's going to be tough for you to do, but listen, if you want to leave 4 stars or you want to leave 3 stars, okay? Listen, that is a demon, okay? If you want to leave, I've changed my mind now. It's 4 stars. If you want to leave 4 stars or less, okay? Then guess what, bitch? That is the demon that you've invoked on you, and it's simply out of my hands. That is not me anymore. 3 stars or less, and you see me at your front door, it is not you're not going to see the confident, lovable, fun, goofy, easygoing guy that you know every single week. You're going to see a deranged man with a scraggly beard who hasn't shaved, who hasn't had a haircut, and hasn't brushed his teeth in 2.5 weeks, chattering at your front door in the fetal position, sobbing, crying, rolling around on your front lawn going, why? Why, God? Why? Why don't they love me? Why don't they love me? So if you don't want to deal with that, then just, okay, 5 stars. That's it. We're done talking about it because we don't even have to bring it up anymore. 5 stars, okay? 5 stars. That's all you have to do. 4 stars if you must. but 5 stars. Thank you. What else did I want to talk about? What else did I want to talk about? What else did I want to talk about? Wow, what else do I want to talk about? Let's see, what else do I got here? Oh my God, I didn't even read this, but it just came to me. Thank the Lord Almighty. Hug your child. By the way, if you do, that's another thing. If you leave 3 stars and you have a newborn, guess who's gonna wake up? Guess who's gonna wake up in that cradle the next morning? Not your newborn, this guy. Bare ass naked. Bare ass naked. Bare ass naked. And I'm gonna be holding a grenade between my ass cheeks. Maybe I pulled the pin, maybe I didn't. I guess we're both gonna have to find out. Anyways, guys, I don't even really remember what I wanted to say because we just went on some random tangent there, but I love taking you guys on a journey because the beautiful thing about taking you guys on a journey is that it starts somewhere and even I don't know where it's going to end, but the journey is what's magical. I don't know where we're going to end. I don't even know where we're going sometimes, but we always make it fun. We always make it fun. Anywho, the studio got an update. If you're watching on YouTube, there's a screen behind me. Now, to me, this screen is bright green because it's a green screen. If it looks horrible and the images on the screen don't look right when you're watching it on YouTube, I'm just going to need you to fucking put that in your back pocket and fucking forget about it. And if any of you bring it up in the comments, I will fucking beat your ass. Okay? And yes, I know some of you are thinking, Anthony, if there's a green screen behind you, couldn't you have just taped a green piece of fabric on the back wall and it would have achieved the same effect, but instead you bought a TV? Yes, but it's also my fucking bedroom and I kind of wanted to buy a TV and I wanted a reason to buy a TV and, well, fuck you. How about that? You don't want me to be happy in life? You don't want me to enjoy shit? You don't want me to be able to sit in my bed and watch Pixar movies at 1 a.m. on a Monday? You don't want me to sit in here and enjoy myself, okay, and have a screen in my face? You can never have enough screens. That's the beauty of the screen. There's never enough in your life. One day I hope to wake up in a room where every fucking wall is just a screen and I don't even know who I am anymore. That's not true. That's sad. Every wall is a screen. No, it isn't. Some of you are probably wondering what I've been up to over the past few months. I've been MIA. Let's start. First of all, I dislocated my fucking shoulder, which is totally not cool. And it's totally not all right. And it's totally not fun. How did I dislocate my shoulder? Well, that's a good question that I would rather not share, but I'm gonna anyways. I was playing. This is honestly the way that I dislocated my shoulder. In all honesty, is a new rock bottom. It's a new low. Like, you know when you hit rock bottom and you're like, we couldn't possibly go lower, but then you dislocate your shoulder playing intramural softball at 9 p.m. on a Monday night against 42-year-old men. And then you're like, oh, man, we can go lower. That's so bad. Yeah, man, we dug deeper. And, honestly, that's kind of motivational, right? You hit rock bottom and you're like, there's no way you could get lower. And then you go even lower. That's motivational. If you're at rock bottom right now, don't look at the light and try and dig yourself out. Just keep digging deeper. Keep digging deeper. Because keep digging until you can't dig anymore. And then when you can't dig anymore, keep digging, because I promise you there's a Monday night softball league where you're going to injure yourself, okay? There's a Monday night softball league where you're going to injure yourself underneath that patch of concrete. So keep shoveling away. And honestly, you know what sucks too that I realized before I get into the story? What sucks about injuring yourself when you're out of your athletic prime is it doesn't feel cool anymore. And listen to me, like when you're in high school and say you're starting on your basketball team and you're the star point guard and you scored 40 points last game and you're getting D1 offers. In my mind, that was a different life that I was living, and I'm just saying. I actually never played basketball in high school, but that's just a separate life that I choose to live inside of my own imagination. So just run with it here, right? I'm the star point guard. Everybody's like, oh my God, you're so fucking good at basketball. Can I have your autograph? I want to have your children. And that's just like what everybody's saying around school. They're like, oh my God, he's so hot. He's so cool. Oh my God, I want to dribble his basketballs, or whatever, or I want to put them in my mouth, whatever. It doesn't, you paint the picture however you want to paint the picture. I'm just trying to paint it for you. And so The thing about injuring yourself or having some type of athletic injury when you're still, like I said, in your athletic prime and like you're actually playing a sport for something, and there's still that hope, you know? Like, obviously, I knew I wasn't going to the fucking NFL when I was playing high school football, but there was just the hope. Like, one day maybe I'll wake up and I'll magically be 6'6", 275 pounds running a 4.3. Maybe, I don't know. Like, obviously, logically, that was never going to happen. But maybe one day I was going to wake up and I would have like a 8-inch growth spurt or something, you know, and become wildly athletic overnight. It didn't, but there was always that hope. And because of that hope, you got to walk around and people would feel kind of, you know, bad for you. And, you know, people would look at you and be like, wow, like we lost our star point guard. How are we going to beat East High, Lakeview, Street, River County next week? And you're like, when we don't have Anthony as our star point guard who shoots threes and hasn't missed a shot since 2002. And that part of it is beautiful because it's like, I matter. But then one day you wake up, you're 22 years old and you're playing in a beer league softball tournament and you fucking dislocate your shoulder, and there's not this euphoric feeling of like, yes, I just injured myself, but people are like, oh my God, we need him. It's more so like, oh my fucking God, I hope nobody saw this. Like, this is terrible. Like, this is embarrassing. When I popped it out, my first thought, I slid into second, right? Because the ball was coming at my head because obviously I mean, I was playing against 40-year-old men. You know, they're not professional athletes. Obviously, they don't have the greatest of aim, obviously. And no shade, obviously. So they don't have the greatest of aim. And I saw this ball flying at my head, so I went to slide, and I felt it pop out, and my initial reaction wasn't, oh my God, my shoulder popped out. My initial reaction was, oh my fucking God, I hope nobody saw that. This is so embarrassing. And I kind of just started walking off the field, like hoping that nobody would notice that in the middle of the game, I just decided to walk off the field onto the bench. And my friends started coming up to me and they're like, dude, what are you doing? Like, where are you going? And then they all, one by one, it was kind of like, you know, which doesn't feel good when you injure yourself. When you injure yourself and it's bad, you want people to be like, oh, like you'll be okay. But instead, everybody who saw me, like people who were in the stands, like the three like parents that like came that were sitting, like the three parents that were sitting in the stands that came by, you want them to be like, like, you know, it's bad, but you'll be all right. Instead, it was just like a wave of people being like, no, I can't be. Oh my God. Oh my God. Is that your collarbone? Oh. And then like a mixture of other people being like, can I get a photo? Like, let's get a photo. Let me take a picture of this for you so I could send it to you. I don't want to see my fucking bones sticking out of my arm right now. But yeah, that was like my moment of like, wow, I'm getting older. Like I don't have NFL dreams anymore. Not like I ever did, like I said, but once again, that hope. Like now, when I dislocated my shoulder playing softball the other day, I realized I don't have that hope anymore. Like I'm not really playing for anything. I don't even think that we were playing for a trophy. It was just like something to do, you know, which is nice. Obviously, it's nice to see your friends every week. And I'm not shitting on this. I'm going to do it next year for sure. And I pray to God I don't dislocate my fucking shoulder, but I'm going to do it next year. And anywho, there's just like this lack of like, it doesn't matter when you dislocate. And, you know, I don't know what it is. Like, now that I'm older, when you injure yourself, you just feel fucking ridiculous because you're not really like, I didn't even really do anything. Like, I just kind of slid and hit the ground. And like, next thing I know, I'm like, my fucking shoulder's out of its socket. Oh my God. Luckily, I'm not at the point where I like, you know, I pick up my phone off the ground and then I slip a disc. I hope that never happens, but I'm not like at that old of age, but I realize I'm starting to get to the point where it's like, shit, like you could just like hurt yourself like really bad, like barely doing anything. So there's that. I went to the doctor. I found out it's completely torn. I completely tore my fucking labrum, which is not ideal because, so I tore the front of my labrum into bits, and previously, 6 years ago, I tore the back half of my labrum into bits, which is now completely artificial. So my labrum is actually 100% shredded to bits now, which is, you know, medically not awesome. But I'm feeling honestly okay. And the doctor said that I might not have to get surgery. I just got to do like a month of PT. I would say like right now, like I'm able to like move it around and stuff, and that feels fine. But if I pick up anything over 5 pounds, I collapse and feel like this intense burning going down my entire arm in like agonizing pain. But other than that, I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah. So also when I went, so I tore my shoulder, right? So I popped it out. I walked to the bench. My friends are like, oh my God, what's going on? I call my mom and I'm like, I'm trying to be like super nonchalant. And I'm like, hey mom. And she's like, aren't you playing a game right now? I'm like, yeah, but like I just low key my shoulder, like, it slipped. And she's like, what are you talking? I'm like, it's like, it sort of grew a mind of its own and ventured into a separate continent that I didn't even know existed. And she was like, Anthony, this isn't funny. And I'm like, yeah. So I dislocated my shoulder. She's like, oh my God. And she comes and picks me up, whatever, drives me to the hospital. And the thing about, so I didn't actually go to the hospital. I went to like a Illinois bone and joint. If you're in Illinois, you know what I'm talking about, but there's this thing called Illinois bone and joint where it's like they, specialize in bone and joints. And well, my bone and my joint were out of its socket. So I figured, well, this is the place to go. And so instead of going to the hospital and sitting in the ER for 4 hours, we go there. I get there and I walk in, and now keep in mind, I have a tank top on. So it's like everybody could see that my shoulder is out of its socket. I walk in, there's nobody in there. The lady looks at me at the front desk. She's like, hi, what are you in for? Do you have an appointment? And she just looked at me for like 3 seconds, saw that my bone was like severely sticking out of my arm. And she goes, oh, okay, never mind. And so she hands me some stuff. And this was the worst part of it. Popping my shoulder out honestly wasn't that bad. Did not hurt at all. When it's out of its socket, the pain, the longer it's out, the more it starts to hurt. And that was the problem. So I'm sitting in this waiting room and she's like, can you just fill out a few forms and the doctor will be with you? I guess. I mean, I'm like laying on the fucking ground, like bare, because that's like the only thing that feels comfortable. I'm like laying on my side, half on the ground, half like straddling this couch. And I'm like trying to like write my fucking date of birth on the dotted line, which didn't really work out. Then finally, after about 20 minutes, a nurse comes in and she's like, hey, like, so what's going on? And I'm like, well, my fucking shoulder just okay. And she's like, right, absolutely. We have to take you in for x-rays. And I was like, okay. And like, finally, then I get in the x-ray room. And the girl's like, they do the front, side view. That's super easy. Then she looks at me and she hesitated because I think she also knew that the question she was about to ask was ridiculous, but she had to ask it. And she goes, do you think you could maybe like bend your arm and move it up on this table so we can get a better picture? No, not really. Maybe we could pop my fucking shoulder back in first. And she's like, well, insurance, you got to get the photos. I'm like, whatever. So I can't get it there. Then they bring in like 3 nurses and the doctor to like maneuver my arm into position to get like a photo. And I'm like, can we just pop this thing back in? This feels unnecessary. So anywho, another 20 minutes go by. Then finally I get into the, oh my God, what is it? The room that they're going to pop my shoulder back in, and they decide that they need to inject my shoulder with lidocaine. And I looked at the doctor and I was like, half my arm is numb at this point, and the pain is making me nauseous and feeling like I need to pass out. I don't think I need lidocaine. Like I don't even know what's going on over there right now anymore. The pain is so severe. I'm not even sure what hurts at this point. So I'm like, can we just pop it back in? They're like, no insurance. We have to give you lidocaine. I'm like, fine. So then I have to sit there for another 20 minutes. The 2 nurses and the people that were like sitting there waiting with me while the lidocaine was in me to make sure like I didn't like pass out and crack my head open on the ground. They knew me from TikTok, which was, awesome, fantastic. And they were just like asking me questions about it, which is totally cool. And they couldn't have been nicer, but I was like trying like super hard to be like super engaged in the conversation and act like I was listening, when in my head I was like, oh my fucking God, I think my tendon's ripping off the bone right now. And I was trying, to give my full attention, and I was trying to, look at them and be attentive and be engaged. But it got to a point where I stopped the mid-conversation. I was like, hey, so I don't know if I'm going to throw up or pass out right now. Can you bring over the garbage can and can I lay down? So I lay down. And then after, then the nurse starts asking me NBA related trivia questions, which, by the way, trivia in and of itself, it's you got to think a lot. It's tough on your brain. Trivia with your shoulder out of its socket is it's like an Olympic sport. I mean, it is so difficult. And so I'm sitting there and I'm sitting in the chair and, long story short, she asked me some trivia questions. Finally, the doctor comes in and basically all 4 people held me down. And I was like, is this going to hurt? And he's like, probably. And so they're just like, I'm like, what? I'm like, I'm not going to move. And they're like, you might. And so all he does is I remember him yanking my arm down and just shoving it back in. And I heard like a knuckle pop. I know, disgusting. I apologize if you just ate breakfast. And you hear like a knuckle pop. And then the doctor, they didn't even give me like a moment. They didn't even give me like one singular second to process what just fucking happened. Immediately, they grab my other arm, yank me up, take an x-ray photo, and they're like, okay, cool, it's not fractured. Are you okay? And I went from laying down, getting my shoulder popped in, immediately being yanked up and staring at this fucking white wall in a matter of 5 seconds. So I'm like swaying around, and they're like, are you okay? And I'm like, I don't even, you got to give me a second here, And I'm like, I see like 4 different walls. The doctor's got like 6 eyes, and he's like, you good? And I'm like, I think so. I'm not really sure anymore. And so, yeah, that's what happened. Got my shoulder popped back into its socket. And that's just sort of how the cookie crumbles. Moving on. Let me get a drink here. What did I just have in my head? I just had something. Oh, right. Fall drinks. This is what's so exciting. I know it's September. Fucking hate September. I don't hate Wake Me Up When September Ends. You know what I'm saying? Green Day. Wake Me Up When September Ends. Wake me up when September ends. Wake me up when September ends. That's genuinely how I feel, though. September is such a shit month, right? Because it's like summer. It's not really, I know it's technically summer, but it's not anymore. Like, it's still hot as fuck. Okay? The devil's still outside banging at your fucking window, dying for you to let him in, ruining your fucking day. I fucking hate September, okay? Because September rolls around, I'm ready for October, but outside isn't. September hits, and I'm ready for October, but outside's ready. It's like, oh, well, guess what? You want pumpkin spice latte? You want to drink a pumpkin spice latte? You will in the 95-degree heat. I don't want to fucking do that. I feel the sweat dripping from my balls down my quad, and I'm supposed to sit here and enjoy this pumpkin spice? Get the fuck out of here. It ruins the moment. It ruins the whole experience. Ruins everything. Fucking weather. Anyways, pumpkin spice, this is when you know the year's starting to get better, because pumpkin spice is announced back. Although I only do local coffee shops. I don't go to that bullshit fuck ass dick riding Starbucks. Fuck Starbucks. Fuck their CEO. He's a cunt. He was the same one who was at Chipotle, right? He just got the new job. Did you see that? Did you read that fucking article? The same guy who used to be the CEO of Chipotle just a few months ago, now he works at Starbucks, and he was the same fucking guy. Oh my God, I just slammed my arm on my chair and that hurt. Forget about it. And he was the same guy, okay, who was in this interview being like, all you gotta do is go, hey, put a little extra. Just, come on. Just put a little extra. Come on. Just give me, if you want extra meat, all you gotta do is be like, come on. I don't want to walk into a fucking Chipotle and take this 16-year-old hostage just so I could get the right amount of chicken. Put it there right away. Just put the right amount of chicken on. Just put it on. Okay? I don't want to play this fucking game with this 16-year-old who doesn't even want to fucking be there. Okay? Who doesn't even want to fucking be there and is just doing their job. It's your job to tell them to slap that chicken on there or that steak or whatever and give me that meat. Give me that meat. I don't want to play this little game, so fuck him for that. Fuck him. All you gotta do is be like, yeah. No. It should be a sizable, good-sized portion. I'm paying $46 for a fucking burrito. And yet I still got to play this. I still got to play this little dance. I still got to do this little tango. I still got to do this little shimmy just so I could get the right amount of chicken that I'm paying for. Get fucked. Anyways, I don't go to Starbucks anyways. I go to local places. I also don't go to fucking Dunkin'. I don't have any problem with Dunkin'. I just think that their coffee tastes like fucking shitty river water. Whatever. I think it tastes like sewage water that they strain through a Brita. And they're like, here's your coffee. No, not for me. I'm sorry. If you like Dunkin', then you know what? That's beautiful and that's wonderful. And I'm happy for you. And I hope your life is filled with nothing but praise. I personally just don't like it. Anyways, I go to local coffee shops. And their pumpkin spice is better. But it's the vibes, right? Pumpkin spice is back. All these things are coming back. However, I will say the fall drink industry honestly has hit a plateau. Have you noticed this? I mean, every year it's pumpkin spice this, apple latte that. Throw a goddamn cornucopia in my cup. Let's take chances. We don't take chances anymore. We used to think outside the box. But now we've been in the box for so long that it's eroded and become a circle. It's become a circle because you keep going around in the same fucking box. Circle, 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 circle. Pumpkin spice, apple, pumpkin spice. Oh, let's throw in some cinnamon. Let's get a little crazy. Pumpkin spice, apple latte. And yes, those are classics and they're wonderful, but let's take some fucking chances. I mean, throw some hay in there. I mean, I don't know. And they're going to be like, well, they wouldn't taste good and we wouldn't sell them. Well, maybe it would. Maybe it won't. Have you tried it? I'm waiting. Have you tried it? Have you tried throwing a fucking cornucopia in there? Have you tried it? Have you dug up a pilgrim? Has anybody dug up the grave of a racist pilgrim? Probably. I'm not making assumptions, but let's call a spade a spade. A racist, has anybody dug up a racist, maybe not racist, let's forget about it. Has anybody dug up the body of a pilgrim and put their ashes into a coffee drink? Maybe it would be fantastic. I don't know. Why have I never been offered a turkey head in my drink? That's all Anybody? Bueller? Anybody? Huh? Why have I never been offered that? Oh, well, nobody would drink. Have you asked? I'm sorry. Actually, you know what? Let's look at where's my fucking phone? Let's look it up. Let's see. Fall. Let's see. Apple cider oatmeal, cranberries, pumpkin cider donuts, footwear. Why have I never been offered an Ugg boot in my latte? Think about that. Or better yet, oh my God, this is genius. Sell lattes in the Ugg boots. What are they doing? I mean, it's like everybody everywhere is thinking of things and trying to be creative, and here I am breaking bounds and going where nobody's gone before. Everybody's scared. You know why you haven't put a fucking full cornucopia in my iced pumpkin spice latte? Because you're afraid, and that's what's holding you back. It's because you're afraid. It's because you're afraid, and it's holding you back. What else? Pumpkin butter, pumpkin. Okay, there's a lot of pumpkin stuff. Just take chances. Be different. Okay, go outside. Okay, the world is your oyster. Yet I have never seen a dead leaf in my drink. And then once again, here's the haters. Nobody would like that. Nobody would want to drink that. How do you know? You know everything? Huh? You see the future? I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you were a fucking mystic. I didn't know you were psychic. I didn't know you had a crystal ball in your room that said that Anthony Kaz wouldn't like a fucking cornucopia in his latte. I'm sorry. I didn't know you had those powers, you fucking dick. I'm sorry. I didn't know you. I didn't know you could do that. It looks like I'm not wearing pants right now. Just know that I am. If you're watching the YouTube video, just know that I am wearing pants. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you had that ability, fucker. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to put on longer pants. I'm sorry. I'm not. I swear I'm wearing pants. I swear. I'm not going to get up and show you, but I swear that I am. Do you guys think my calves are too small? Be honest. Beyond, like, I think they are. Hold on, wait. It's making it look bigger. Ugh. I don't even want to. I might have to blur that out. I'm sorry. Do you guys think they're small? And are my knees too bony? Can we have a heart-to-heart really quick? Are my knees too bony? I think they are. They've gotten bonier. You know what happened? I started running a lot a few years ago, and ever since, it's like, they're really bony. And nobody's brought it up, but I know they're thinking it, and that sucks, doesn't it? Because you know I know everyone's talking about me. I know they are. Be honest, though. Are they too bony? I think they are. My calves look great when you smash them down. You're like, wow, look at that. But then when I pick them up, you're like, oh my God. You know, I've heard you could do calf injections, and I don't ever want to do Botox. I don't think I need anything in my face. I'm just going to live life how it is, but I wouldn't mind a slightly improved calf. And I know you're like, Anthony, just go to the gym. Listen, I've tried. I really have. I've really tried. I've really done my best, and my best just isn't enough. They don't grow at all. They don't grow at all. They don't grow at all. They're like a child in a broken home. No growth. No growth. That was kind of sad. Why did I say that? Let me get my legs off the table. That's nobody needs to see that, for a prolonged period of time. And I swear, if any of you make a poster, okay? I'm dead serious. If any of you make like a poster or some bullshit of me sitting with my calves up like that, I will hunt you down. And this, unlike the other time when I was saying like I would show up crying, this time it's genuinely a threat, and you're going to need to tell your loved ones goodbye, because I would make sure that never ever sees the light of day, and you never see the light again either. Well, actually, I would make sure that you saw the light of God, because I would kill you. Anyways, motherfucker. Let's see. What should we end the show on? There's got to be something on my mind. There's got to be. Oh, I was thinking about, because I keep seeing clips of The Boys, that like superhero show, but they're like pieces of shit who like use their powers for like, I think they use them for, I don't really know. I haven't seen the show, but like I've seen a few clips, and what I've gathered from it is that they have superpowers, and they really only use them to profit themselves and to like help themselves. And they sort of like are tricking the public that they're good people and that they actually care about them, when in reality they only want money and power. So I think we know. Honestly, if that's the definition of a superhero, then everybody in Congress is the greatest superhero of all time. Everybody in American Congress must be the greatest superhero of all time. Sorry. Anyways, actually, I'm definitely not sorry about that. Fuck those bitches. All they do is lie. Let's see. This is a thing. I thought about this the other day. If I had superpowers, I wouldn't use them for good, but I also wouldn't use them for evil, right? Like The Boys, like that show. I would be like right in the middle, which honestly I think is worse, I think it's like, it's not even, because I'm not even like ambitious, because if you're using them for good, obviously that's a good, but if you're using them for evil, at least people could be like, okay, like what he's doing is horrible and he's a piece of shit, but at least he has goals, right? And that like that's important. Like at least he has goals, and he knows what he wants, right? If you're right, like if you have superpowers and you use them for evil, yes, you're a terrible person, but at least somebody could look at you and be like, at least he has goals, Which like most of you can't even say that about your boyfriends that you met on Hinge. So sorry. Sorry, I know I probably hit a nerve for a few of you, but that's fine. Whatever. I mean, if it, maybe he'll get goals. He'll get there. Might not have them right now, but he'll hopefully in the future. Just stay positive, or to leave him. I don't really care. But I think if I had superpowers, I would just be like in the middle. Like I wouldn't use them for good, and I wouldn't use them for evil, which like honestly is probably worse. Like I said, that's probably worse, because like, yes, I wouldn't hurt anybody, but I also wouldn't help them either, because that's so much pressure. Like if I could fly, I wouldn't use it to like save people who are falling, or like save people from a mugger, or like, save people from a burning building. I would just like use it to get out of traffic. I would Like I would just use it to like get, I would be like flying over the interstate. They'd be like, "Help us, please, my son." I'd be like, cops start at 5. I don't. It's sending good vibes, praying for you, sending thoughts and prayers. Help! Sending thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers while I have like a bag of just like Raising Cane's under my arm. just flying over the interstate. Cops start at 5. I wish I could, It wouldn't even be Cops for me. It would be Dancing at Stars starts at 7. That's what I would say to them. I'm so excited for that to come back. But we'll talk about that when it actually comes back. We got about 2 more weeks. September 17th. Yes, I know the date. Yes, that's very real. Yes, I'm very excited. Yeah, but if I had superpowers, I wouldn't use them for good and I wouldn't use them for evil. I would just be kind of in the middle. Like if I had like lasers coming out of my eyes, I wouldn't use them to like saw through this car that's trapped on top of this child who needs his life saving. I would like use it to like, for toast. That's about, I would like if I had lasers coming out of my eyes, I wouldn't. Like it's too much pressure. I wouldn't use it to like, like stop a robbery or like, like stops or like save somebody's life. If somebody had a gun to their head and they're being held hostage, I wouldn't use my laser beams coming out of my eyes to like kill the person who's trying to hurt someone and save an innocent bystander and civilian's life and reinstate good in the world. I would just like use it to like light a joint. I'm going to be honest. Like I would help. And Mister, please use your laser eyes to help save us. This terrible man is trying to take us away. And then I would just be in the corner. What? That's all you would hear from my fucking apartment. If I had lasers coming out of my eyes, this is what you would hear every 3 hours. Fuck. And then just Rick and Morty in the background. What? Anthony, there's a Anthony, there's a truck that's stuck on top of this man. He has minutes to live. What? That's funny. Anyways, thank you for listening. Please rate and review. Seriously, genuinely. I know I was fucking around earlier about the rates and reviews, but seriously, if you leave 5 stars or even 4 stars, like, whatever, if you leave a rate and review for the show, genuinely, I seriously from the bottom of my heart appreciate it. The show's going to be back every single week. And I genuinely mean that. I mean, look, I just spent money on a bunch of new stuff. I got a new thing. You can't see it, but it's what the mic goes into. It's like better. It's supposed to sound better. Probably sounds the same, I bet, even though this was like 4 times expensive as the last thing that I had, whatever. And I spent money on new things. I got an Apple TV so I could, put my iPad up there and, maybe we'll use that. I'll probably just use the green screen, honestly. But I don't know, I hung my guitar. I bet you could see. Maybe you can't see that. Maybe I'll have that cut out in the YouTube video because I needed to shorten the frame. I don't know. And if you're listening, you're like, I don't even know what's going on. I just hear your soft, luscious voice just whispering into my darling ears. Okay? Maybe some of you are having a 4D experience on the way to work. Little waterworks action with me and your speakers, huh? Sorry. I hope and pray to God that nobody in my family listens to this. Yeah, seriously, genuinely, from the bottom of my heart, if you like the show and you give it a rate review and leave a comment too. I think I'm going to add new segments. This episode, I kind of just wanted to yap because it's been a while, but I think there'll be segments. I think I'll bring, current events back. I think we'll do like a better version of questions that you guys could ask every week, maybe some advice or something like that. Yeah, I'm super excited. I hope you're excited and I hope you enjoyed the episode. Yeah, I think I said it 15,000 for the 11th time. Rate, review, leave a like, subscribe to the YouTube, and share with your friends, seriously, because the more you share, the more viewers the show gets, and the longer the show, the more viewers it has, the more shares that it gets, the more likes that it gets, the longer the show is going to be out. And you're going to get episodes every single week and stuff like that. And yeah, anyways, we're going to end every episode like we always do. Oh, and by the way, I forgot to say this at the beginning, but if you notice that the new episodes are season 2, and maybe you're a new listener and you're like, season 2, ignore it. It was just like a mental thing for me, because I didn't want to just come back and be like, oh, here I am, new episode. I've only been gone a week. No, I've been gone months, and it just felt right to change it and make this new era season 2. This season 2 era. We're in the season 2 era. What does it mean? Nothing. It's more just like a visual thing, and it's like, it's just so that I'll break up all the old episodes and all the new episodes. So there's no change. There's no difference. Yes, it's season 2, but it's just the same exact show, and I just did it for me. Okay? That's it. Don't worry about that. And we end every episode like we always do with 2 claps and Ric Flair. So can I get 2 claps and a Ric Flair? Woo! See you next week!